now you just added noise data. Carlos is happy. All right.
Let's take off the word copy.
Huh?
Let's take off the word copy and leave it as MCD, MCD.
Yeah, MCD location or any name you want. Yeah. And Carlos, I'm going to remove this because these guys are usually charging you.
MCD, yeah.
All right. So to repeat, we learned how to zip package a geodatabase. We did the feature or the function called add item to our online space. Yeah, we said publish as hosted feature layers or features classes, and we have now the two items in our display: the geodatabase and the hosted layers. And we just created a map showing the single locations, and we created another layer underneath it from the same data source with the heat map. Everyone is okay with that? Should we repeat something on that? All right, let's do one next step. There's this button called analysis.
Wait a minute, that's the one that I've been using all this time.
If we click that, it comes in perform analysis. Nosy as we are, we want to explore. Well, we click on manage data. Ooh, dissolve, extract, merge, overlay. Huh? Crazy stuff. Analysis. Then we could go up there to summarize. Aggregate points, join features, summarize nearby, summarize with, and there are always little tiny ID information numbers. So it actually tells you in small pictograms again what is what. Yeah? Well, we have find locations, bunch of different functions. All right, viewshed, everyone in site planning. Now you could create viewshed if you have the data. Yeah?
Oh boy.
You have watershed. You can downstream data. So you can actually trace how water will flow if you have the data available.
Is that only sewage or maybe natural?
Any fluid, naturally, that you can use 3D data for. Yeah? Data enrichment. Use wisely. Depending on my data type, I'll come down there. Depending on my data type, I can, if you click on this, you can choose from thousands of variables that you would like to append or add to your data table. Yeah? So if you have, let's say, zip codes for that area, you could now say, hey, I also want to know the total population of the zip code. And instead of using Wikipedia and or census, you could enrich your layer with that and use the function to pull that in. It will cost you a few credits. Do that for small display areas. Don't do it for the whole US. Yeah? Because usually your map extent, area you see, is going to be the area you're getting charged for the data operations. Yeah? Again, I am not cheap. Don't want to sound cheap. I have enough credits for you guys. But I just want to make sure that you're not processing something with 1,000 credits. I won't let you do that if you don't have that much. But think about this. There are certain workflows you can do here or on a machine, and the machine is not going to charge you for it. Yeah? Just an idea. Like buffers. We do the next step is buffers. Buffers is a charge because it's a process. Buffers on your local machine is for free.
ArcGIS doesn't provide you with the data. You have to give the data to ArcGIS, right? I mean,
Yes or no?
Working
Yes
in
or
the real
no?
world.
Yes or no? We're getting there, because if you're doing real GIS work, you usually have your own data. Every city has their own data, but then they share that, etc., and put it maybe up on the cloud.
No.
Yeah? Hi. What can I
Then
do?
you have to pay monthly fee. The maps change, right? The layers change.
Press that button.
Data change.
All right, any other questions back here?
But I remember the $5 grand
All right.
for the software. But he can give us a discount.
Look at the maps and apps.
So if I click here and enrich the layer, I can go through this and say here. You have all these features, And a tool enriches your data by getting facts from the people, places, and businesses that surround your data locations. Yeah? If used current map extent is checked, only features in the input layer visible in the current map extent will be enriched. Yeah? So if you do that, at the bottom, use current map extent, show credits. Yeah? So it takes a moment. So it could do for all the locations. If I click here, select variables, I could say income and the estimated median income for next year.
Income, okay.
I encourage you guys to explore this. This is so rich. I have a 2015 Excel spreadsheet with thousands of lines for every variable available. Yeah? So go down here and search and say among income. You can even say, okay, well, is there a list for female income? Do they separate it? No. Yeah? You can go back, food stamp, SNAP, income by age, household income, net worth, wealth facts. Go back to the categories. Yeah. In the data processing here, select variables. If I hit apply, I only use median household income for all the locations I have. And I could even say, hey, within a mile from this, yeah, or walk time, driving distances. Remember when you talk about all this distance stuff? How in market analysis? This is where it really drills down to. Yeah? And if I click this run analysis, it should pop up and tell me, actually technically it should tell me how much it would cost. Yeah? And after some time,
A little bit more time.
I might have found a solution to that. Yeah? But the cool part is we can actually work on other stuff too, while this is doing. Okay, now I have the 1 mile enriched here. And if I look at my table and scroll over, you can see now enriched feature ID, area type, buffer analysis, and what's the household income in 1 mile from each location. Huh? Let me get to the other functions. I'm happy to repeat that again when we have time today. Alright? I'm running against the clock, believe that. But you're still fresh. I like that. You're really excited today. Yeah? Alright, let's do buffers.
Yeah, I was telling you.
Yeah? So again, analysis. We have data enrichment, we had that with enriched layer. We have patterns. Yeah? Calculate density, that's something like your heat map. But use proximity. Remember, in ArcMap, it was where? In the proximity tools. No? So now I have create buffers, create drive time areas, find nearest, plan routes. So this is routing stuff. No? If I want to create buffers, I just simply click buffers. Or here, info. It explains to you how this will do. No? I click buffers. I told you, it looks a little bit different, same function. Now this is way more friendly than the standard on ArcMap. No? Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see more. No? Alright. Choose the layer containing the features of the buffer. That is my input feature. I take the MCD locations. No? Enter the buffer size. Well, I want to do distance, 1 mile. Yeah? And right now, I just click OK.
No, you
Or
click
run
on
analysis. Whoops. And do I? Maybe. All right. Run analysis. All right. running and running and running and running. Yeah? 500 miles. And running and running and running. 500 miles. But the expected result is little tiny round shapes around all locations we saw earlier. And it's friendly. Why? Because it has a funny color, blue, but also you can see that. See that here? See that here? It actually has transparency already set up, like a see-through. So I can easily identify what's underneath it. Those are 5 mouse clicks I just saved compared to ArcMap. Don't get me, guys, don't get me wrong. I love that ArcMap stuff because it's more efficient to get really big project stuff. Yeah? But this is cool for smaller stuff, presentation. Imagine you have 30 people now in your room and say, yeah, okay, fine, click, we done this. Yeah? Very easy. You can share that via web pages. Yeah? You can save that as a PDF if needed. And. Yeah? All right. So that was one buffer. Well, we have more buffers.
No.
Proximity. Create buffer.
Wait,
Here, to create buffers, multiple buffers and a distance separated by space. 1 space, 2 space, 3. In ArcMap, we didn't do this today for time purposes, we would have to use the batch tool called multiple buffer rings. Yeah? Here, we just space out. Space, space, space. Yeah? Result name.
No, dissolve.
Oh, wait. Location, MCD location. Don't do buffers of buffers. Huh? MCD location, distance 1, 2, 3 miles. Result name, I add 3 on that. And now there was the question of, do we need to dissolve? So we actually can go now and say, well, buffer type is dissolve. And we keep rings. So instead of just giving us none and dissolve, we actually see little images. People like that. I call it the iPad generation.
That's in the field.
Alright, that's from the top. MCD location, distance as buffers, 1 space, 2 space, 3 miles. And then I click options and say dissolve and rings. Name it appropriately, the way you want it. I would just have increasing numbers. Does it show my credits? Yeah, if I click on credits down here, yeah.
So what happens if you don't have options?
Total records right now, and it will charge me this amount of credits. And hit run.
Then solve.
Where do you go to the money?
Yep, dissolve. And scroll down.
These for 2.
And hit run.
It's not your signature pre
Yep. This might take a little bit longer because it runs 3 buffers and dissolve.
Location.
I got an error.
Give me a moment.
Space, 2, 3. Space. Okay.
Alright, let's double check this again. MCD location, 1, 2, 3.
Dissolve.
Dissolve, rings. Make sure that you have not done that name yet. And hit run.
Okay.
Exists already in the name, so make sure that we not.
Or multiple layers.
Yeah.
I can change the name.
Yeah, I'll change the name.
Resolve layer name, change it to multiple buffers.
I'm just right now just running numbers behind it. It's like this is third run. If it doesn't like it, it's 3rd and 1. So you gotta change the name.
Multiple buffers.
Yeah.
I rob my identity.
Alright.
Hungry.
Yeah, it's cursive.
Alright, let's clean this up a little bit. Only show these buffers right now. Yeah? So what it does is, on a scale from light green to dark blue, blue to dark blue, it shows us the dissolved 1 miles. You can see that, we did that in ArcMap. it shows us now the 2 miles. There's a little gap here, yeah, little gap here. But again, in 3 miles, we have complete coverage for the system. Yeah? Super fast, super easy. It costs us fractions of credit points. Okay? How do we geocode in ArcGIS Online? A little bit preparation time for that. So, if I go back to my File Explorer, yeah, and back down there is my file called geocodesample.dbf.
Oh, it's not a folder.
Yes, we can zip it, but it won't process on the cloud because it's really happy with Excel spreadsheets and CSV files, comma separated value files. Yeah? So how do I change a DBF into an Excel or CSV?
The last 3 letters change.
You can't just change the letters. Can't rename it. So the trick on this is we open a blank Excel spreadsheet, drag and drop it in, and save it as the format we want. That's a little tiny data management tweaking we need to do. Yeah? So for that, we open up Excel or type it in Excel and start it. Right? Blank document. If you start this the very first time, you might get a some of the startup message or something like this. Just say OK or Excel. Yeah. Blank document. What I'm going to do now is have my windows next to each other. I'll take the geocodesample.dbf, highlight that, highlight it, click left mouse button and drag and drop it inside my Excel blank work document. If it behaves normally, it will open up. Yeah? All behave. Yeah? Have you seen this all the stuff? Same thing we have seen before in our catalog. Now I hit F12 or Save As. F12 is the function key F12. Function key F12. Or Save As. Huh? And you see it says Save As Type Excel Workbook. But I don't want to save it as a workbook. I want to save it as CSV, comma, Sept, delimited. Delimited. Alright?
Keep the name geocode sample.
We can keep this name geocode sample. I have to.
What do we say?
Save as CSV, comma, Sept, eliminated. Add your initials behind that to avoid that mistake later. Alright? Comma separated. I will show you. Give me a moment. I will show you. It's a old school standard. If all hell breaks loose, CSV is your rescue. You can dump huge databases into CSV and then load them somewhere else again. So that's like the basic 101 format of understanding, because I show you in a second the way this is structured. All right, so I want to do that. Save as CSV, geocode sample, KG as my initials right now for Carl Gustav, and I save it in my digitizing folder. Yeah? And then I basically say yes, and then exit out, and I say I don't want to save it. So going back to my file explorer, I now have a file down here that says geocode sample kg, and it says Microsoft Excel, comma, separated value, CSV. Yeah? If I click on this, usually if you have the preview on the right side, you have the preview on this, you actually will see this in, we'll best it open.
Says it's already open.
1140.
Yeah, I know. So in the CSV file, what it does is, for technical terms, Carlos, the first line in the, it's like a large Word document or text document. The first line are your field names, and then every line coming is the next record. And it follows the same pattern than before with the field names. Yeah. So super simplified. All right.
Just click on view on preview pane, it will open up.
Preview pane here opens up.
Click on view on the top, view. Preview pane.
You haven't done anything to it.
On the left, preview pane.
Ah,
That's what you're looking for?
yeah. Different machine. See, if you look at the CSV file, you see parcel number, assessment year, all these fields we've seen before. And then, because they're comma separated, comma, every time you have a comma here, it knows it's part of field A, field B, field C. Yeah? So you actually see data like this to download. And market analysis, we download tables from the census data in CSV and open it up in Excel. They might have changed it again. Now you can actually, I think, exploit it in Excel directly or something. Yeah? So, but CSV is an important thing. All right, now the catch is, this is the one thing I didn't do also. How do we add data now? Well, let's go to home, content, sorry, content. Add item on my computer, choose file, and let's see if we import that CSV file directly. Here is my CSV file, geocode sample initials. And hit OK. Can't remember if I packaged that up or not. Alright, so I can import it, I don't have to package, I can import it directly. Tag it as test. Publish. Oh, what happened here? It recognized what's inside, because it read the field names and figured out, hey, also type of CSV could be a geocoding attempt. Yeah? That means it now asks me, hey, how would you like to portion it out? Coordinates, like XY, or addresses, or something else? Just add a table. Wait, let's do the addresses. To avoid error messages, parcel number, we need to change to string or text. It bumped out on me a few times yesterday. Yeah? All right, now let's scroll down. Parcel NO, parcel number, change the field type to string. I have no idea, but instead of 21 students going in panic mode, let's just take the string. Yeah? Because it comes up, it should be double.
Yeah.
Yeah? But,
CSV.
all right.
CSV file.
Slowly go down, and remember we had physical address 1, physical address 2, hello, and it asks us for location fields. Yeah? What I'm going to do is, I'm going to use this. Click on it and say, hello, you're my address or my place. This is the same thing we did when we geocoded an ArcMap. We are going to match the fields to each other. Yeah? Physical address number 2 we could use as address 2. Scroll down a little bit more. Physical city, wow, we could use physical city as city. Zip code, no, we could use as zip. Remember, in ArcMap it was called postal code, or postal. Here we call it zip. But it's the same thing. Alright, so that looks okay. Zoom down or scroll down more, that's fine as well. So, and I hit item, add item. Takes a moment. It publishes for us automatically. Yeah. And we get the preview again, like the data content like we have in our catalog. Takes a moment to prepare it. Yeah. And we have 155 locations were matched. Do I want to review those locations? That is the ArcMap is the rematch and close. I trust the system and say no, don't want to review or rematch. Yeah? Little pictogram gives us the idea of what we're looking at. And if we scroll down, we can look at more things. All right? Oh,
Go get some help back here.
Are we listening for, are we looking for physical city now?
city, yeah. And I also open it in map viewer. Yeah. So now, since we have the map currently open as a project, I have all my buffers and everything else. Yeah. And my locations. But you see that here, geocode sample for Carl Gustav. It's mapping out right now the year. I don't want the year. Land value was something Cash really liked. Yeah. Give it a moment, it updates it automatically, and this is now the bubble chart for cash value. And I keep that. And I can zoom in and get rid of all the buffers. Yeah. So now you can see that. And this is the fun part of exploring your data. If you look at this here and click on this guy, it pops up and shows you everything what's in there. Here the land value is 58 million. Yeah? Why is it so expensive? What's the address of this building? It's nowhere.
What's the value of the property? 58 mil.
Yeah.
Does Huizinga own this place? No. It's private.
All right, you
right?
guys have questions?
It's private, right? No.
One dot.
Someone owns it. Huizinga, I know.
All right, that's what we do. Press no, don't review. Press no, and just load up.
Did you see the
Cool picture.
no, the
Diego looks okay down there
donation
too.
of
Okay.
last week? This week?
All right.
200 million.
Close the tab on everything.
They were donated to Nova.
Which gear?
From Tampa. A couple of magicians from Tampa.
Magicians?
Yeah, they have clinics.
All right.
They donated 200 million to Nova. So what do we have?
Done that? Let's save. Save the map.
I zoomed in, I think.
Yeah? Okay, we can call it demo 1. Tag it as test. Can write a little more description. Test. And save the map.
Where you click to save?
Save button. Here, right in front of you.
What do you put for summary?
I know, me too.
What do you put for summary?
What did you put for summary?
Test.
What is the title? Tags and summaries.
Demo 1. Alright. Alright, cool. Let's go to home.
Oh my god.
Home. things.
Too little?
Two more little things. Hey, Pandora's box is open, like all the worms are coming out, and it's like, I'm hungry.
While you're enjoying yourself.
Oh, this is the cool part. This is why you guys get the feeling or the idea now why GIS is so exciting. Because now we can we haven't done stuff like this
We
way.
can't contain
Yeah, we only
ourselves.
have done this way. Or like, oh, this is why I accept to stay up till 2 a.m. in the night before if I have to change my.
We can
password.
tell.
Yeah? Can tell. Drink coffee. Here, let's go here to apps and hit the ArcGIS Business Analyst, or type in bao.arcgis.com. We haven't done not enough yet with Business Analyst. I do encourage you guys to check this out. This is mind-blowing, if not existence-altering. So,
Now that's D3.
so it took that, passed all my credentials here as Carl, yeah? So what I could do now is, we used Nova Southeastern here last time, yeah? I click open for a new project, pops in. This is where we took off last time, right? Yeah?
I don't have that.
That's the grid.
But if you don't have that, let's see if you can do a new one. If you don't have that,
My
you can
project.
start, create a new project, create project. And it's called a demo, demo 2. Takes a moment.
How do you create a new project?
On the start page and or in your map project.
I mean, it's there, but it's not there.
All right, this has been created.
Demo 2.
And if I open it up now, here is my demo 2. When I X out, I have this map. Get rid of this, come on. Manage items. Okay, I don't like you right now. We can do this in a different way. I don't want to clean this up. Time's running. How do I add a new location? Last time, pop this up total. That was a clear map. That was a clear map. Was here clear map. Oh, got it. Yep. Clear map. Get everything rid of. There's also a function called pin. I can find locations by address. Here, search. Or I can manually select a pin. So if I do pin, my cursor changes a little bit. It says click on the map to define location, right? So I go and say, pan the map a little bit more, pan the map. Here, pan. I'm gonna say here on the bridge of 17. I zoom in. And just for the fun of it, we take the pin location, and here at the Marriott Drive, at this corner here, this is the big drawbridge, we just click on the map. Doesn't have to be exactly that point. But make sure that you're pretty much close to 17. Yeah? So, now you can actually say, at the site name,
Get out.
we can call it Demo 2. Yeah? You also can now say add rings, drive time, and walk time. We did that before. Now we do walk time. We could do 5, 10, and 15 minutes walk. You do that once a moment, and now it shows you where, from this location next to the Marriott, could you walk in 5, 10, and 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, you're not going to make it to the Americas, to the out to the beach. Yeah, but you make it here to a shady area. Fine. What else could we do? We could run a report. There are a bunch of redefined reports. Yeah? It could be the census profile. You can run this as an Excel or as a PDF. Excel, I run a report on data from the internet, GIS, into an Excel spreadsheet. Now I can take that Excel spreadsheet, format that table nicely, and put it in my Word document as a report function. Or a PDF, run the report, take some time, and I can click open the report. And now, from that location, in a 5-minute walk distance, radius distance, 5-minute distance is walking. Yeah? You have 490 people apparently populated in 5 minutes, or you scroll down 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, back down to the end. On the last page, it shows the 15 minutes walking distance as, let's say, almost 1,000 housing units, how they are broken down, yeah, by rented, occupied, sold, not occupied, and. Household, ethnicity, other for owner occupied, renter occupied, average household size, everything you can imagine and dream of.
It's called pulse data.
Population data.
Pulse data, yeah.
No, that's actually census profile in this case.
Oh.
Alright. This is just this small location for predefined reports.
Is there a way to create your own reports?
Yeah. If I have 4 more minutes, let's let me run with one more predefined and we do this time.
I know,
I can
right?
scroll down here and go more and more in depth on all these reports. Again, I could say house and home expenditures, housing profile, market profile. Let's do market profile, but that is retail oriented. I open the report. Here it breaks down population, household summary, median household income, 2017 currently projected, and even the estimated in 2022. Per capita, etc. Again, for each of these, distance calculate. Last page is the most. Market profile for all of that. As a summary, that actually shows you the tapestry data, because tapestry data is lifestyle data, or prison data. Tells you, okay, food at home, total spent in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes walk time. Imagine you can do this for any location in your mapping system where data is pretty much available in the US. You can do that also for Europe and other locations. The US is a little bit more rich because of the data agreements. You can do that as a customized report. He left. If you want to do a customized report, you can do that in your reports function. Here. Reports. Just pointing that out. You have to run reports. You can actually build reports between two locations. Let's say location in Plantation, location in downtown. What are the differences? We can build infographics. That's the funny, great looking pyramid stuff we had last time. Or you can build report. If you do a build report, it takes a moment. Now this is a drag and drop template. So once this popped up,
this video introduces building a customer building section.
this is weird because this looks different. It's scaling on the. Why are you not coming? So this might be a browser issue here. You know, I would like to run the second part here, and it's not good. Alright, let's do this. So this is the template, how it will print out. If I would say, hey, I want to build something on consumer spending, I can see all the variables here. Let's say medical expenditures. Can click on that. It will show me what's going on, how this will actually look like as a template. And in the other option, I actually can drag and drop this whole thing in. Now I can see populates the data not yet. I can present sample value. If you try it on your screen or at home, there should be actually another. This is predefined templates moving into yours. I couldn't get to that OK button on the bottom. That you actually can select and drag and drop line by line, not a whole block. If I only need the 2010 population, I can plug that in. Yes, please.
I was doing the market analysis class. You helped me with a customized report on the business gaps in a given area.
Yeah.
How do I get to that? How simple is that? Is that a
This is what I did.
Is that a customized report?
Yeah, this is what I did. It's on a different user profile. I have to find it.
Sure.
But we can do that. Alright. That's for it. Do that. Roadmap discussion for those who want to do it right now. I can do the roadmap discussion with you after site plan.
What is the relationship between Esri and ArcGIS? Is it Esri owns ArcGIS? Is that how?
Esri is the software company that builds ArcGIS. Yeah. Alright. Assignment number 3 will deal with a little bit geocoding, a little bit adding a location, buffers.
So there is going to be an assignment 3
That is an assignment 3.
before the final.
I thought we had the final Tuesday.
No, that's your roadmap. That's where you say, hey, this is how I want to build my final project.
Okay.
Right. Explanation again. The roadmap. The roadmap is about a page-long discussion on your idea what you would like to present as your final project. Let's say Danilo is interested in retail locations for outdoor retailers. Yeah? He wants to find a new location for that. Today we saw how do you measure distances between existing locations. Let's say McDonald's. Right? I could find a gap with just simple buffers or drive time like we did walk time right now. Map that out and say, hey, there are certain locations of interest. Why don't I just say, if there's a gap, I would like to have a market report for 5 miles or 5 minutes drive time, for 10 minutes drive time for a market report, and use that as an example. Yeah, could be as simple as that. So you say, hey, I'm interested in a location analysis. I would like to find a new business location. My new business location has to fulfill certain requirements. Yeah? Let's say you want to cater food to people below 30. A lot of people below 30 within 15-minute drive time. If you pick that location because you have a good offer for buying a new property, if you pick that location to build a restaurant business, and it's in Weston, it wouldn't really help much with the drive time and the population you target for. So you make that just to say, this is my idea, and then you use GIS to find a justification or avoid it, yeah, and say, this is working out for this location or not. Let's say, again, the example would be, I have a proposition for buying a new property, I'm in the restaurant business, as a developer, does this make sense to make a deal here? If it's downtown, yeah, but the report would actually support that then as well. Yeah? So, short paragraph, 3 sentences or 4. This is my idea, I'm interested in that. We have a student who has a family property up in Georgia, wants to deal with the market potential on it. You might end up having a problem with the data. We didn't get to data mining. I will post a video on that. Like the webpage of Broward County GIS, where to get all this data. The city of Fort Lauderdale, where to get the data. Yeah? so you can actually find additional data if needed. I told that student, don't do data stuff in up in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Take that idea, play with here, because this is a sandbox everyone can relate to and you can deal with the data stuff. Huh? You don't save the world with your project. Don't overthink it in its complexity. It's really hard to go down that rabbit hole and get lost because you have no data or too much. Huh? Short paragraph, this is my idea, and then third of a page. This is how I think with the tools I have seen so far, how I can solve this. Or I would like to do this or that, I need the proper tool. That's my part to tell you that this workflow is the right way. Because the final project, some part of the grade, a share of the grade is, did you do this GIS stuff? Yeah? And again, it could be super easy, a lot, or super complicated, just a little bit. I will balance that in the assessment. Yeah? And the majority of the grade share is presentation and report. If you look carefully, I think presentation and report is like 60%. So I just not only want to see, let's say, yeah, where was it? That map with the nice buffers we did. Yeah? I want you to tell me the story, how you came up with the idea, a little bit about what you did. Like if you did some really cool tool, let's say he only applied heat maps or found a new tool as well. Tell me about that. Why is your project really cool? And show the results. We all know if you show buffers on the screen, we all know that this is a buffer. But why did you choose a 7-mile buffer over a 2-mile buffer? Because that's part of your research. Huh?
So when do you want that paragraph back?
Tuesday night. And
what is the
I'm
Sunday
not on
for this?
campus. I'm not on campus
Right.
on Monday afternoon, but we have Tuesday office hours here again. If you guys can't make it, communicate with me. I'm more than happy. Send me an email with your phone number. I'm more than happy to call back. Tell me when not to call. Yeah, I had a student sending me one email once at 1 a.m. in the morning. Can you call me back? I called back right a second ago. Yeah, for the GIS class, because I knew I have no idea on Sunday when that student is in reach. Yeah? So I don't call you at 3 a.m., but if you send me an email at 10 p.m. and I'm still awake, I will give you a quick phone call and talk to you. My phone number is from Idaho, so don't be scared. Yeah? All right.
Come lightly. Come lightly.
Breathe,
Calm
calm down, the exam is going to be okay.
I have faith in all you guys. You will pass this test.
I'm gonna go to the best nap of my life.
You're rubber duck.